Good morning, YouTube. It's actually afternoon to be fair, but how are we? So, a few days ago, Bambu emailed pretty much everyone saying that there's a new printer on the horizon. That's good, because in this video, we're going to talk about it. So, anyone who's on the Bambu mailing list will have got an email which looks suspiciously like this a few days ago, saying there's going to be a new printer. It's been badged as the A2L. A2L, so it's going to be a larger format of the A1, I believe. Fast forward 2 days, and there's something popped up on Reddit which I think is really quite interesting. So it looks like we've got the actual tech specs of the printer. So it is a bed slinger, it is a large format bed slinger, and it's going to give us a build size of 330 by 320 by 325, which I think sneakily suspiciously is the same sort of size as the H2S. So A2L, large format bed slinger. Do we need a large format bed slinger? In my opinion, no, but build volume is comparable to the H2D and the H2C. Obviously the biggest build volume you're going to be able to get from a Bambu machine is the H2, giving you 340, 320 by 340. So what is different with this printer? So I've actually got a comparison on here. I'll put it up on the screen here. As you can see, so from the standard A1, you've got a 256 by 256 by 256. Big thing with this one is though, it's going to have some sort of cutting module. Now, I think it's going to be closely relatable to the Cricket, which is one of these things down here. There'll be a picture there. It's going to give us a hardened steel nozzle on shipping. Max nozzle temp is 300 degrees again. That's comparable to what it is on the A1. However, the bed temperature is only going to be 80 degrees, whereas you can get it up to 100 degrees on the A1. I had to think that. But it's saying that there's going to be compatibility between the AMS, AMS2 Pro, AMS and the AMS HT, which is going to be different, which is interesting. So, the pros for this is you're going to get a large format bed slinger. Do we need a large format bed slinger? In all honesty, I think no. Having had the CR10 Max, it is going to be super slow. It won't be as slow as the CR10 Max, obviously, but it won't, print volume is going to be big, which is good. Do I think it's going to be any better than the H2S? Probably not, because you're not going to beat that for the value for money. The Cartesian system Core XY, it's spot on, my opinion. But yeah, it's different. So do I think we need it? Probably not. Pros for it are it's a big flatbed printer if you want one. It's saying it can go up to 19 colours, which is interesting. Obviously, so the printer itself, you're going to get up to 19 colours for a mixture of the AMS Lite, AMS2 Pro and AMS, obviously AMS HTs. It's PLA, PTG, TPU and PVA compatible. Not recommended track print your ABS, obviously, because it's not enclosed and you're going to need the higher temperatures. So where do I think it's going to come in price wise? That's going to be an interesting category, to be honest with you. So price wise on this, I think if you're going to look for a standalone A1, you'd be looking at probably what, $339. I think the A2 could possibly sit round about combo prop where you'd like to think, I'd estimate probably about $400, because they're going to want to keep it cheap enough where it's going to attract people. They're going to want to be able to try and drive volume of sales with this. But again, it's comparable to the Neptune Max series, LU Neptune Max. I don't think there's a place for it in the Bambu lineup. I am fairly disappointed. Some other tech specs you've got on the printer is you've got module add-ons for plotting, and obviously you can then go along the lines of making t-shirts and whatever else you want to do with this. It looks like it's going to be single nozzle. Again, people aren't really looking for that, I don't think. I do think it's just a bit of a wasted release, Bambu, to be perfectly honest. But if you go on Reddit, there is absolutely stacks and stacks of threads on it. Like I said, the price breakdown's quite interesting. So someone's saying that they're looking at about $399, but then for the extra, you're going to get a Core XY for not much more. Obviously, not that build volume, but the Core XY series. So I think the P2S comes in on its own at $529, and then $699 with the AMS. The combo price of it, I think, is going to be around the same. You know, you're going to go for the big bed slinger build volume, or are you going to go for a Core XY built-in enclosure? My personal feeling is you're going to go for the enclosure to give you that breadth of, you know, materials. But if you're looking for a larger build volume, then this may be the print for you. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm not saying it's good. I just think it's a little bit disappointing that Bambu are releasing this when there is other, you know, things we could be looking at on the market. Do I think there's going to be like an X2C variation? Yes, I do. There's a video coming on the X2D shortly I've had it for about a month, so just my experiences with it. So make sure to stick around for that, but that's my initial thoughts on what the A2L is going to be, what it's going to look like, and what sort of price point we're going to be looking at for it. But again, if you found this video useful, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like, comment, and all that sort of good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one.